I put together a framework for my plan to get our business from multiple seven figures to eight figures in revenue. And actually, it's starting to pan out faster than I thought it would. I wrote down some notes on this sheet of paper, and then I took a picture of the sheet of paper and sent it over to ChatGPT to create a framework. And it did a pretty good job. I'll show that to you here in just a minute. But I want to go down this framework that I've got. These notes that I essentially are a framework that I put together for my path to eight figures. And then I'm going to tell you some of the things that are happening right now that are accelerating all of this, and what factors within this list I would deem to be the most important, and what you should focus on immediately if you're interested in growing a multi-million dollar company. So the first piece of advice that I would give, and this is going to sound a little bit cliche, but I'm going to say it anyway, is to niche down. And the reason that you want to niche down is because you can charge more for being an expert at something than you can being a generalist at everything. You can make more money being an expert at something than being a generalist at everything. And there's a number of other reasons why you want to do this anyway. I actually talked about this in our coaching to our coaching members today, about about creating so much expertise in a specific area that you become not only a master of it, but you also become one of the best in the world at what you're doing. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. And you don't. Here's the thing, you guys, and I don't want you to I don't want you to think like this is going to take me. I got to turn down my clickety clacks from Slack, or else I'm going to be notified the whole time. I don't want you to think that building an expertise in something is going to take you an entire generation to like figure it out. You can build an expertise in one little thing and then build upon that expertise. For example, I hired a coach a couple of years ago who mastered Instagram lead generation, 21 years old, and he was making $500,000 a month in his business. He mastered the art of converting someone from a casual viewer on Instagram into a lead. And that was worth it to me to pay him for that information. I paid him $36,000 for that information. He didn't have all of the information, all of the expertise on every aspect of Instagram. He had a very small nugget of information that I wanted. And I paid handsomely for that. And it ended up resulting in a 4 or 5x ROI. A 21-year-old. So you think to yourself, most of the people who are watching this are between 35 and 50. You think to yourself, but I don't have time to build an expertise. He's 21 years old. It took him 2 years to build an expertise in one thing. It took him 2 years to figure out one thing. Started when he was 19. I think he started when he was 18, started selling his program when he was 20. Boom, was a multimillionaire by the time he was 21. This is a huge misconception. There are books like Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers that's like 10,000 hours this, 10,000 hours that. You don't need 10,000 hours to master something that you can sell. You just need enough knowledge on something specific that holds value, that other people will exchange value in the form of money. They'll pay you to teach them what you have, to give them what you have. That's all you need. So niching down is very, very important in this. When we first started our YouTube agency, I was kind of the jack of all trades. I was like, I'm going to edit, I'm going to write copy, I'm going to do thumbnails, I'm going to do your Instagram at the same time. We're going to do a blog post over here. And what I found is that I had started about 15 different little agencies within my main agency. And people kept, it's like somebody would be like, hey, I love your blog post. Hey, I'm going to refer you my friend. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm going to get another blog post friend. And somebody's like, hey, this guy killed it on Instagram. I couldn't build every single one. So that's when I was like, nope, we're going to be the YouTube experts. Now, if you're brand new here for the first time, this is the first video that you've ever seen of mine. First of all, welcome. Second of all, my name's Scott Simpson. I have a YouTube agency called Graffiti Media. We have turned it into a multi-million dollar company, and I'm trying to get it to eight figures. That's what this entire channel is about. It is all the thoughts, the things, the actions that I'm taking on my journey to eight figures in my business. and I'm sharing them all with you in real time as I see it, as I do it, as I'm thinking it. So, welcome. If you want any more information about our services or anything that we have to offer, click the link down in the description below. Got multiple links down there. So, you can choose whatever you want to choose. All right, so niching down is number one. Number two, study your niche. You can build an expertise and you can start making money immediately. But the way that you master something is by living in your niche, being excited about your niche, setting trend alerts on Google about your niche, reading every article about your niche, watching every video about your niche, learning everything you possibly can about your niche, and then experimentation, putting it into practice, right? Because a teacher is just a teacher unless they've actually done something. Once they do something, then they become more, that didn't make any sense. A teacher is just a teacher till they do something. What's that old adage? Those who can't do, teach. Right. So I want you to be a mentor. A mentor is when you have real life experience backing up what you're teaching. If you just have education, you just read a book and you're just trying to recycle what you read in the book. And I know a lot of people like that in the YouTube industry. Trust me, there's a lot of people who are trying to teach YouTube who have no experience with YouTube. You just read books, or they've worked under somebody else. They worked under the masters. And the way that you get out of that is by doing it yourself. So niche down, then study, then execute, then start putting those things into practice. The next thing that you need to do in order to build a multi-million-dollar company is figure out how to take the knowledge that you've gained and create value. And the way that you do that is by appealing to one of two things: desire or problem solution, right? You're checking the box of, I'm going to get you closer to your ultimate dream goal, making millions of dollars, or I'm going to solve all of your problems. You haven't been able to get into a relationship. Every person that you date is horrible. I'm going to teach you how to avoid that. I'm going to teach you how to find true love. You can't fix your car. I'm going to show you some videos on how to change your oil. You're solving problems. You're getting them closer to their desire, or solving their problems. When I hired this coach, he was getting me closer to my desire. I wanted to increase the revenue in our business using Instagram. He taught me how to do that. I also wanted to build out our coaching program, and he taught me how to do that. That was checking the box of desire. People are willing to spend money where there is pain or where there is pleasure. This is science. It's biology from the beginning of humankind. The earliest and most oldest profession, what is it? Prostitution? Appealing to desire. Gross, but it's true. So ask yourself, what are the problems that you can solve? What are the problems that you know how to solve? The more technical the problem, the more desirable the problem, the more you'll be able to charge for that solution. If everybody, here's a great solution, or here's a great example. Editing on YouTube is there's a lot of programs that are out there that are teaching editors how to edit. And so that has driven down the price that editors can command in the United States, because our team, do we have any editors in the United States? We don't have any editors in the United States anymore. All of our editors are overseas, because overseas we can still pay a significantly higher wage than what the majority of people in those countries earn on an average monthly basis, and support families, but it is less than what someone in the United States who has a higher cost of living will charge us to hire them in the United States. So we look overseas for a number of our roles because their cost of living is lower, and so we can save on revenue. We can get more done. We can get more mileage out of our expenditures. Make sense? That is an example of a skill that is in high demand, but there's also a lot of competition. What you're looking for are those little outlier areas of there's a lot of demand and there's very little competition. And when you find a lot of demand and very little competition, that's where you can increase your rates. Now, you can increase your demand by offering more value in your services. You can add bonuses, you can stack offers in order to make them more enticing. In fact, I highly recommend that you do. But if you're just simply looking for, hey, I just want a simple solution that I can offer at a high ticket rate, then you want to look in those areas. You want to find something that's in high demand, that has a very little competition. Go to ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT. All right, next thing. And this is understated. Like this is underutilized. Can't be overstated. I think that's the way you say it. Can't be overstated enough. Networking is crucial to your success as an entrepreneur. You have got to be able to communicate with people. You have got to be able to have conversations with people. You have to be able to articulate what it is that you do and what your value is. If you can't do that, you're going to fail as an entrepreneur. You have to be able to articulate what your value is. We have a oil changing place right down the street, and the owner of that oil, what do they call it? Quick Lube, Jiffy Lube, whatever it is. The owner of that place for years was not present at the location. And the employees that were working there were terrible. They were terrible. And I stopped going to them because they were so horrible. And then eventually they lost almost all of their business. And the owner's like, I got to get a new team in here because our reviews suck on Google. And got a new team in there. And the new team was very skilled at communication. They're very skilled at customer service. And business started boop, 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 taking off again. And their Google reviews, boop, 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 started taking off again. If you're not a good communicator, not a good networker, not good at customer service, you're going to suck at entrepreneurship. You have to learn those skills. Networking is crucial. And the way that you network is not by kissing butt. It's not by it's not by being egotistical or arrogant and making them wish that they were like you. It's by talking value to them, showing value, offering value, having conversation that is not one-sided. How to win friends and influence people, you guys. Get them talking about themselves, help them solve some problems, and they will become your best friends. All of our clients that we work with, we want them to become our best friends. We don't want our clients to feel like they're just another number in our ledger book. We want them to feel as though we actually care about them, because we actually do. And I talk to our team about this all the time. We are helping people. We're helping small entrepreneurs, medium-sized entrepreneurs who have a small online presence get their voice out there. We care about our clientele, and our clientele can feel that. And so they continue to do business with us. And this is a huge thing that you want to utilize if you ever want to have, if you work with people on an ongoing basis, you want to have client longevity or high lifetime value. This is something you need to focus on. Next thing, consistency. You guys, you can't be ADD in your companies. I did my whole ADD framework. Very few people watch that, by the way. I highly recommend, if you haven't watched that and you are ADD, ADHD, you go back and watch that. The framework is so good. It's so good. And it's how I built my company. It's how I used my brain to build my company. How I worked with my ADD mind to build my company. You have to stay consistent. If you're jumping all over the place, you're never going to build expertise. You're never going to master anything, and you're never going to stick with anything long enough for the people in your network to know what you do and be able to refer people over to you. If you're jumping all over the place, I do this and I do that and I do this. Oh, yesterday I did that. Now I'm doing this. Then the people who are following you, the people who are most close to you, they're never going to be able to tell their friends what you do. And most of your business in the beginning is going to come from referrals. It's going to come from people who know you, who talk about you. It's going to come from your network. Next up, when you're ready to scale, systems. I would highly recommend that you build systems into your business from the get-go. Be documenting everything that you're doing, every strategy that you're coming up with. to grow your business, to offer your service to your clientele, everything that you're learning, document it, throw it into ChatGPT, have ChatGPT create an SOP list for you, an SOP guide for you based off of what you're currently doing. Systems are super important, especially when you start bringing more people in. One of the biggest reasons I think we haven't scaled to 8 figures already is because my executive assistant, who's now our director of operations, we didn't start putting SOPs into place until like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And now we've scaled our team from 12 people to 27. We've scaled our clientele, but it took us a long time. I mean, I've been in business for 6 years and it took me 40 years to figure out I got to get systems put in place. Now we were able to hit 7 figures before then, but now we're hitting record breaking months because we have systems put in place. Systems, systems, systems. Okay. And then here's one that I feel like most people underestimate: time. You got to be patient. It's going to come when, was it preparation meets opportunity? So you do all of these things, you do your marketing. That was actually one that I didn't talk about, was marketing, which is the most crucial element of business, is learning how to market and then sticking with marketing long enough for you to see success. We have turned marketing on and off and on and off and on and off for years on Facebook ads. YouTube, we've always been pretty consistent. Facebook, like organic, been pretty consistent. And most of our business has come from YouTube and Facebook organic when it comes to our marketing, because we've been consistent there. Facebook ads, though, we fired it up a couple years ago, and for 4 months we didn't close anything. And then we closed, it was like $40,000 of business in a month. And that turned into 150. I mean, it's still going in some cases. It'll probably be $300,000 over the course of the next year. But we didn't see any return for 4 months. So right when we closed, I was like, hey, we got to shut this down because we're not closing anybody. And then for a year and a half, I didn't run Facebook ads. Now we started firing it up again because we realized that some of our best clients came from Facebook ads. And so you need to understand marketing, lock marketing in, and don't make your entire marketing strategy you going out there drumming up business as a founder. Because if you ever want to sell your company, you can't do this. You're going to have a very low value because you're the key man. And the key man, the business dies with the key man. So don't do that. Okay, now back to time. Time, you got to let, it's like cooking a roast in a crock pot. You got to let it simmer. You got to let things boil up. The more consistent you are with your products and services, delivery, customer service, more people are going to talk. But you cannot rely on them talking instantly. You got to wait. And usually it happens, people start talking when you least expect it. Networking takes time. Sometimes some of our best clients came from conversations that I had years in the past. And it's funny, like I have talked to people, I have people coming into our coaching program right now who I've known for 12 years. And they're just like, hey man, I need it. 20 years in some cases. Like I went to high school with some of these folks, 20 years. And I'm like, they're just like, hey, I've been following you for years. I love what you're doing. I want in. I'm like, sweet, let's go. This is great. It takes time. And so you got to wait. That prep, you have to stay consistent because that gives you more time to prepare. And then it also gives you the ability to find opportunity. So right now we've been working with that's hilarious. I'll have to check my camera back. I need to make sure that document stays protected. That's hilarious. Okay. So, we've recently, entered into some white label relationships in our agency, and, a number of white label relationships. And when I tell you how much business we are faced with, bringing into our company, it's mind blowing. But I mean, right now, I need to be careful how many. So we have, I think I can tell you this. We have 17 done for you clients in our agency right now, which is it's a fair amount. 27 people on staff. Like 17 is a lot. We have the potential of getting between 50 and 80 more clients over the course of the next year, depending on how these white label relationships go. And they're already starting to trickle in. So it's scary, but at the same time, if we do that, we will basically have we will have an 8-figure valuation easy. Doesn't mean that we'll be doing 8 figures a year, but that means that our valuation with a 5, no, I mean, probably, yeah, it'll be a significant amount. It'll be a very significant amount, multiple, if we are able to grow that amount. Right this second, if somebody were to be like, hey, I'm going to dump 50 clients in you, I'd be like, bruh, we can't handle that. That's way too much. But over the course of the next year, if I'm aggressive with the way that we're building, I definitely think that's a possibility. So, relationships, time, let things stew, let things marinate, let things cook, slow cook. And that, my friends, is how you grow an 8-figure business in a nutshell. There's obviously more nuanced things just depending on what industry you're in and who you're trying to attract and what you're selling. But if you do all of these things and you commit to doing all these things, you can build a $1 million business. This will get you to multi-millions. Like, these are the things you need to do. You just have to stay steady. You got to stay steady. You got to stay committed to growing and learning. Here's the framework, the $10 million scaling framework that ChatGPT put in. I think it's always funny because it's like consistent, implicit. Yeah, it's so funny. I don't know. It looks kind of cool. I like the framework, but I mean, you get it. Niche mastery, value creation, relationship capital, double P, systems and structure, patience and time, execution and readiness. That's it. That's it, you guys. All right. What did I do? There we go. If you need anything, click the links in the description. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. See you on the next one. Bye.